Hello, welcome back to Claret and Blue. My name's Dan Rowlands. I'm joined by Ashley Priest this morning for a pretty early podcast from us, all things considered, for a match preview, something that we might be rebranding next season to, drumroll Ash, Body More Brief.
Body More Brief, sound like a pair of underpants. I got a pair of Body More Briefs the other day.
Gonna have to change that now, aren't I? I saw it in one of the comments on the last week when we were like, we need to rebrand it because it's not really a preview. We're talking about what happened at Bodymore at the presser and what Emery said and the injury updates and whatnot. And one of the comments was Bodymore Brief because it sounds like Bodymore Heath, but now it sounds like a pair of underpants. I don't think we can go ahead with that. So match preview it is.
Oh, I see.
We're here to talk about Villa versus Spurs, a massive, massive game. I don't think you can quite overstate how big this game is for Villa, which we'll get into in a sec. But to the presser and Bodymore Brief, what was Emery like yesterday?
Yeah, fresh trim. He's looking sharp. Yeah, he was asked about, he said, Emery, you've had your hair cut, you're looking fresh. As usually when we speak to managers this time of the season, stressed out, Gerrard was stressed out kind of thing. And Emery was rejuvenised. He was looking great, Emery. Really good week. And he's really so excited, Dan. He's pumped up for this. He really is. The 3-game running, starting tomorrow. Loves home games, doesn't he, Emery? Always speaks about the home fans and that connection he wants to build. I think he's looking for another Newcastle home performance style. I really do. I think he's pumping the players up. Full squad as well. What a bonus that is going into this game, especially. I think Diego Carlos could slot in as well. So it's really, really good, feel-good factor swirling all around Bodymore Heath. And Emery's message was, we've deserved this opportunity. Okay, we've lost the last 2. Okay. But the run previous to that, the 10-game unbeaten run, in the Premier League as well, he's some going, as we know. And I think he's told the players, we deserve this. Go and get it. Go and do it. It's our chance. It's our last opportunity. And, I wouldn't fancy being Spurs player tomorrow. Spurs are winless in 8 on the road. Not a happy camp. I can't see nothing more than a Villa win. So you'll clip this up for Monday and I'll have egg on my face. But, yeah, it's I think the momentum's in Villa's favour massively and the fans are going to back them. The Project B6 are handing out flags tomorrow in the Holt end, which is very good move. And I think it's going to be electric tomorrow. So, I'm buzzing for it.
Yeah, I think we can probably talk about tomorrow's game in isolation in 2 aspects. That it feels like you just said, it's all geared up for a Villa win and a massive atmosphere and a really good day out kind of thing. We spoke about a stage maybe a couple of weeks ago that getting into Europe was in Villa's hands. Do you still agree that it's in Villa's hands after that Wolves defeat? Obviously, Spurs 3 points ahead of us. Goal difference is 4 better. I've got it down as +3 for Villa, +7 for Spurs. So we need to win by at least 2, by more than 2 goals, to overtake Spurs, specifically tomorrow. Brighton have got 55 points and have played 2 less. But those games in hand, by the way, are Newcastle and Man City. Man City is the midweek before the final game of the season against us as well. So it's not this kind of given that Brighton are going to win 4 out of 5 games against tough opposition and fly up into the top 6. But beating Spurs tomorrow is absolutely massive. And if you do that, it probably still is in Villa's hands to an extent. If you beat Brighton on the last day, that probably is enough. It's 2 wins out of 3, which it's not impossible, is it? Put it that way. It's not a huge mountain to climb, but it's also not an easy task.
Yeah, that was a chat in the press room with the media lads yesterday. I think it's looking like 2 out of 3 to win. But is in Villa's hands? Of course it is. They go and win tomorrow. They give themselves a great chance to go and level up points with Tottenham. Could go above them, depending on the goal difference, as we know. But, I think if he's in their hands, the Liverpool game will be tough next week, given their form. But win tomorrow, momentum's massive at the end of the season, Dan. And like you say, I think Emery will snap your hand off for this. To go into that Brighton game end of the season as a shootout kind of thing at home, I think it'd be huge. So I think that's what he's planning for. He said that last week, I think. If we're going into the Brighton game needing to win to go into Europe, I'll take that every day of the week. So that's the aim.
And back us as well.
Yeah, exactly. Massively. And if they manage to do that, it'd be incredible down there. So they need to keep it on course tomorrow with a win against Tottenham and see what they get from Liverpool next week and go from there. But it's all on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the cup final, as Emery has put it, and it's going to be some atmosphere down there. And hopefully just start quick and get on the front foot.
We've spoken a lot about the cup final mentality. Does that bring extra pressure labelling games as that? Villa don't have the best record in cup finals for 25 years or so. So, going 7 games to go, they're all big cup finals. The manager going, tomorrow is the cup final. I mean, Wolves was a cup final and we lost that. But it's like, next week's a cup final. Do you know what I mean? Does that add kind of extra pressure, do you think? Should they kind of label it as that? Or does it not really matter?
Well, Emery loves pressure. He speaks about pressure a lot. I like pressure. I love pressure. If you got no pressure, what's the point in being in your job kind of thing? That's his mantra. We all see the videos of Emi Martinez walking through the tunnel after games, 3 cup finals to go or whatever. That's the message in the dressing room. And okay, there's a couple of setbacks against Man U and Wolves, but we've still got this opportunity. We deserve to have another shot. That's it tomorrow, given the form we've shown and how well we've done. So, yeah, I think pressure's a good thing. I think players need pressure to perform. I think players previously at Villa Park have struggled, given the home form previously has been a bit poor. But now we won 5 on the bounce at home, is it, without conceding? It's totally flipped. Fantastic record at home. Players are thriving now, playing in Villa Park. It can be quite a daunting place to play your football and express yourself. But now the players are dialed in, fans are dialed in. It's a great place. It's a great place down there of late. And yeah, like you say, Tottenham rocking up tomorrow. I wouldn't fancy him at all.
No. Just talk about the Emery's kind of approach then, I guess. And this is a theory that I saw on social media in the past few days or so, that for a long time, Emery kind of, again, this isn't a word for word quote, but it's like one game at a time. The aim is top half. Let's see how we go. That kind of mentality. And all of a sudden, it was like, we want Europe. Like, we want to get into Europe. And it was like a switch like that. Now, again, we talk about pressure and the mentality inside the dressing room and all those kind of things. The theory that I saw online was that kind of sets up the players to see who can make the grade and who can't, by adding that pressure by Emery to the media and in interviews by saying, no, we want Europe. The goal is now top 7 rather than just, top 10 is fine. It's kind of going, if anyone does kind of crumble in the last 6 games, 4 games, however many it was at the time, I can kind of assess the squad then from that person isn't up for the fight long term. Again, this is just a theory online, but it was interesting that switch kind of just going, mid-table is what we want. And then it was like, we want Europe. Like, Europe is the aim. Do you think there's anything in that?
Yeah, I mean, because they're so close to it now. Emery he's big on setting targets, Emery. You've heard the quotes before: escape from the bottom, done. Top 10, done. What's the next one? He's always striving to be better, Emery. And like I said, I think we mentioned this off air about yesterday's big line about his culture of effort, which is a slogan he used at Villarreal: a culture of effort and sacrifice. He loved that, and he said, "I brought that to Aston Villa now. That's what I want around the place, and that's what I want moving forward: a culture of effort." And that's all fans want, really, a big effort on and off the pitch to make Villa better. So, that's what he's instilling. Always striving to improve and to go further up the table, and that's what he's done ever since he arrived, isn't it? Really. So just keep going. He always hates players coasting. He hates coasting and stuff like that. He doesn't want that at all. It's always to be better, improvements, practice, work hard, and keep going. You know what I mean? So he's not here to waste time. He's stressed that enough times. I'm not here to waste time. The owners are backing him, like you say. You see all these transfer links. It's going to be a big summer. We know that. But now he's eking out every little last drop out of the current squad. They're doing really well for him. And like you say, they're giving themselves a great opportunity now to make it a memorable season.
That culture effort thing is very interesting, given Emery's record as well. Because I think, and the easy comparison here is just to go back to the last manager in Steven Gerrard, but you could probably go back 5 or 6 Villa managers here and go, if that was kind of the narrative at the back end of a season when you're trying to climb as far up the table as possible, and the manager was just coming out going, we want to have a good effort and we want to work hard, you'd kind of think, come on, we need a bit more than that. Like, you need to do more than work hard. You need to be coached well, and you need to be good at finishing or whatever. It's not just about work rate. Because we've done so well under Emery, and you can see they're coached well and tactically astute, that final missing piece is effort and work rate. Because if you continue doing what you're doing and being kind of carrying out the tasks that you've been given, week to week at Bodymore, running harder than the opposition will be that kind of marginal gain to get you over the line in these, a final 3-game shootout. Effectively, win 2 of 3, work harder than Spurs and work harder than Brighton, and it is in your hands. Obviously, you're expecting Spurs to have to drop points against Leeds or Brentford, which is obviously not impossible. Leeds fighting for their life. Brentford away isn't impossible for Brentford to get something there.
No.
I think that, interestingly, that game as well next week, Brentford play Spurs at 12:30, Villa play Liverpool at 3. So if Spurs have won again, it's obviously pressure for us to go to Liverpool and have to get something there. But if they've lost to Brentford at lunchtime, again, that's extra incentive for Villa to go, right, this game at Anfield is a bit of a free hit because Spurs are already lost. So if we lose as well, it's all on Brighton next week. If we get something at Anfield, then obviously, Villa might make gains and go forward into the final game with a little less pressure. So it probably is in Villa's hands to a certain extent, as crazy as that sounds, because they've got to win 2 out of 3. But you do believe under Emery that they can do that because you back them to beat anyone to a certain extent.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, to beat a Newcastle team as they did at Villa Park was pretty incredible. Okay, performances on the road have been great of late, but yeah, I back Villa against anyone at Villa Park of late, given the form they've shown. So why not tomorrow?
Let's talk about injuries then and the injury update. The last one I did with you or with John, it was like, oh, well, nothing's changed. Things have changed now with everyone fit and available for the first time under Unai Emery, which is a pretty remarkable stat in itself, really, that he's got a clean bill of health. Again, not for everyone to come in and start and be ready to go, but to have the options is a great place to be in, isn't it, in the running?
Yeah. I think it's the first time since he's been there. He's had a full squad to choose from. Matty Cash, he was at Wolves last week. Matty Cash, he wasn't in the squad, but he travelled and he did loads of extras on the Molineux pitch last week. So he's getting some minutes in his legs, kind of thing. So yeah, full strength tomorrow. He did mention some won't be able to play 90, which is obviously understandable. But those that came on last week, Kamara, Diego Carlos pushing for a start tomorrow, I think. And Leon Bailey's there as well. Katina didn't get on last week. But yeah, I think full squad tomorrow. Good options on the bench as well. But should Villa need to change things. So yeah, it's another bonus for Emery and the fans tomorrow. So yeah, full strength. And I'm expecting a couple of changes.
Yeah, let's do that then. Predicted 11 again in shows gone by. This is same 11 as last week. Let's move on. There's probably a few more talking points now with Cash probably being the biggest one of those, I guess. Whether he comes straight back in now at right back for Ashley Young, whether Konsa moves over to right back and Diego Carlos starts alongside Tyrone Mings. I'm not sure I'd be massively keen on that. If Cash is fit, I'd probably go with him personally. Midfield options: Dendoncker, Kamara, Louise, Bailey coming in maybe for Buendia. Obviously, Watkins is going to be in there, McGinn, Ramsey. So how would you pick an 11 if you were setting up for Spurs? Would you look at anything on that Spurs side and think we need to play X player to combat that? Or would you just focus on yourself?
Yeah, Emery will focus on the opposition as well. But yeah, I mean, I can see Konsa maybe coming in at right back tomorrow with Carlos coming in. Tottenham play with wingers, obviously. It'd be either Son, Richarlison or Kulusevski off Kane. So defensively and from set pieces as well, I think Konsa could be an asset at right back. Obviously, Villa's player will always go down the left-hand side with Moreno. I know you are stifling that attacking output on the right if you do put Konsa in. But, mate, it's an option for him. I can see Carlos starting tomorrow. I think he did enough against Wolves and showed enough there to warrant a start. Emery spoke glowingly of him afterwards as well. Also, I think Kamara maybe come in as well. I think Kamara could come into midfield and partner Douglas Luiz, as they did so well at Tottenham back in January. And push McGinn out on the right-hand side as well. A bit more protection to double up on a Son or a Richarlison on that side as well. So, yeah, I think I'll go Martinez. Yeah, Cash might be just a bit short at the moment. So, Martinez, Konsa, Carlos, Mings and Moreno, McGinn, Kamara, Douglas. I'd say probably Ramsey. And I think he might. Will he stick with Buendia and Watkins? Keep Bailey on the bench, maybe? Don't know.
That's what I'd go with. I think, again, the easy kind of analysis from Bailey is, and I'm not even sure we see this too much these days, is that he's got a bit of a turn of pace. So if we do need a bit of legs with 20 minutes to go, probably Bailey is the better impact player than Buendia potentially.
Yeah.
Possibly. But again, we've seen, there's times I've watched Bailey and thought, I thought he was supposed to be quick, like where's the pace gone, kind of thing. So, yeah. Konsa, it's difficult, isn't it? Because if you're saying is Cash not quite ready, maybe you could argue that is Carlos ready enough. I think he only played half an hour last week after 9 months out or whatever it was. I kind of get the point that picking Konsa maybe stifles the creativity going forward at right back, but we're doing that at the moment anyway with Ashley Young playing the right hand side, so it doesn't really change the overall system too much. If you throw Cash in, he's going to want to go forward, and maybe that kind of upsets the balance a little bit. So yeah, Conte right back. I mean, is Ashley Young just start right back? Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, there's bags of experience there. Been around the block. Important game. You need cool heads tomorrow as well. Young on the pitch, he's so vocal as well, Dan. He's always getting the lads focusing on the task at hand. So Young is an important player. I wouldn't have no grumbles him starting tomorrow. Big experience. You need them players in important games, and Young's certainly one of them. So yeah, I wouldn't be too disheartened if Young was starting tomorrow.
There's obviously been a lot of talk about Spurs this year not being what they are, this Spursy thing and giving away leads and all that kind of stuff. You look at them and think Kane and Son probably less so this season than last, but Kane, without them, Spurs are a very average outfit. How do you stop someone like Kane if you're Emery and Villa? Do you put someone on him for the whole game and kick his heels and all that kind of thing, or how do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, Emery spoke about this yesterday. He's told Conte and Mings to watch how players deal with big players, like Haaland in the week, how Real Madrid dealt with him.
Yeah, backing into his hips and stuff.
Yeah. Emery's been on his centre back saying, watch how these defend against Haaland, who's as good as Kane, if not better, obviously. Watch how the elite handle the elite kind of thing, and he's told his players to tune in that way. How do you handle Kane? Yeah, big challenge tomorrow. Mings and Conte or Carlos got to puff the chests out and say he's not scoring today, and try and rough him up a little bit, be aggressive. Don't let him turn. Don't let him fire shots off. Yeah, I think the defenders should relish playing against a player of Kane's quality tomorrow. It's what all defenders should be relishing. It's a challenge, and yeah, how do you stop him? We'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, he's on some form, isn't he, Kane? Without them, they'll be nowhere near where they are now. So yeah, it'd be interesting. That's tomorrow. Mings coming up against Kane previously as well with England and stuff. So yeah, fascinating battle, that one. We'll see how that plays out.
A couple of players in the comments that I didn't mention in kind of the clean bill of health. John Duran, obviously not going to the Colombia Under-20 World Cup, I think it is, Under-21, staying with Villa. I think we spoke about this before. He might get 5-10 minutes here and there, but if something happens to Watkins, John Duran's a Villa player. I want him at Aston Villa, not playing international football, to be ruthless about it. The other one, Bertrand Traore, who I kind of forgot about is it Buendia or Bailey? So a case for Traore, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I think he was disappointing last week. I think Bertrand would be the first to tell you that. It didn't go his way last week on his big start. Emery gave him a chance last week. Bit of a shock to see him in the year 11. Didn't do much, hooked off at half-time. So I'd be surprised if he makes a start tomorrow off the back of last week. Missed his chance, really, against Wolves. He could have earned his shot for the running. But didn't. It's hard to do that given how aggressive Wolves were. Wolves were really physical. Strange game to put him in, I thought. But yeah, didn't take his chance, and I can't see him starting tomorrow now.
Okay. Quick one. Away from match day then, let's forget about Spurs for a second. Transfer news. Are we getting to the point now in the season where pressers are starting to talk about transfers and stuff like that? Yeah,
massively, yeah. Emery was asked about that yesterday. Villa been linked with, as the viewers will know, Villa been linked with, I'd say about 20-30 names this week, let alone. So yeah, Emery was asked about that, but he's now is the moment to enjoy the match and kind of thing. Football is now, but he said things are going on in the background. Of course they are. The new director of football, Mathieu Alemany, he flew into Birmingham yesterday for eyeing over his deal. I asked Villa whether announcement's likely in the next couple of weeks. Not really. I think we'll look at the end of the season for that one. For Alemany to be confirmed. So yeah, he's going to be the main man, Alemany, in terms of Villa's transfer strategy this summer. It'll be all on him. He'll work really closely with Emery in terms of targeting players and getting players in. Seen them reports this week about Asensio from Real Madrid, Dan. You've seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is something there, obviously, with the agent link. He shares the same agent as Emery. And the agent has a close affiliation with Alemany and with Nassef Suarez. The thing they've got to do is persuade a player of Asensio's calibre to come to Villa Park, which I'm sure that they'll look to do. Villa were in for Joe Felix in January, as we know. So Villa are changing the way they're targeting players now. They're going after the elite. I think we'll see that in the summer. We'll see some exciting names come to Villa Park. But yeah, nothing's close, as you say. But over these next few weeks, the press conference will be dominated by transfer discussions. Are you in for him? Are you not? A lot of names. But yeah, I think we're in for a huge summer. We say this every year, but given it's Emery's first full season, the stuff that's happening in the background with the new director of football coming in, and the owners still so intent on taking Villa to that next level, and given what Emery's achieved with this group, just it's exciting, isn't it, to what he can do with his own players. And he's only signed what the one really, hasn't he, Moreno? He's the only one that's come in, same group of players, and for him to add to that with his players and that calibre. We're getting a director of football from Barcelona. Barcelona are going to win the league in La Liga. To get him over here to oversee the transfers and with his contacts in La Liga, I think, it's really exciting for the summer. I think you're going to be busy. We're going to be busy covering a lot of new signings. So, nothing's close, obviously, but so much happening in the background, and more come to light as the weeks go on.
Yeah. If I can ask you to take off your journalist hat for a second and your inside information or things you've heard at press conferences or speaking to the manager or whatever, you said we're linked with 25, 30 names, whatever ridiculousness we've seen. Ridiculousness is not a word. Whatever ridiculous scenes we've seen over the last week or two. If you could pick one of those names as your boss, you can bring one of them in. You'd love to see that player at Villa Park. Out of all the names, who'd you like the sound of?
Put me on the spot there, Dan. Who would I like to? I mean, I know we just spoken about it. Asensio is very exciting name, player. He's got 11 goals this season. He's only been a bit part player as well. Asensio at Villa Park, I could get right behind that for sure. Striker-wise, Vlahovic seems a bit out of Villa's reach, to be honest.
Sounds mad, doesn't it? The players we're talking about here is ridiculous.
It is, yeah. So we'll get used to it. I think it is possible. Given Emerys at the helm, look what he's done at Villa. Look at his track record. He always improves players, gets the most out of them. Players like playing for him. I think Matteo Guendouzi, I think there's still something to happen there.
Yeah.
In the summer, It wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the first to arrive. Guendouzi. Emery spoke to him in January. We know that he didn't want to leave Marseille midway through his season. But I think the noise coming out of France, I think he's going to... I can see him rocking up at Villa. I really can. Gets on with Emery really well. They had a really great bond at Arsenal. Tried to sign him for Villarreal. Couldn't. But I think, Guendouzi could be one that could come through the door as well. Yeah, really exciting players. Really exciting time to be a Villa fan right now. And it's roll on the summer.
I put you on the spot once then for transfers. I'll put you on the spot again for a prediction. I said at the start, I don't think you can overstate how massive this game is for Villa. This is the cup final. If we've been talking about cup finals for the last 6 weeks, this is the one now. If you lose here against Spurs, it's been a good season still, but it's game over for Europe at that stage. If you don't win tomorrow, even a draw probably isn't good enough given the last couple of fixtures for both sides. We'd still be 3 points behind with 2 to play. 2 difficult games for Villa, easy games for Spurs. You've got to beat them. You need another Newcastle, don't you? Here, great atmosphere, a couple of goals. Comfortable body isn't the right word. So I don't think it will be, but be as comfortable as you can be and be in control, I guess, is probably a better way to phrase it. First goal is absolutely massive in terms of atmosphere as well. If Spurs go ahead, you can kind of envisage Villa Park maybe dropping its head a little bit. It needs to not do that, though. It needs to back the players till the 90th minute and try and kind of get the boys over the line. What do you reckon then?
I can't see past anything but a Villa win, Dan. I really can't. I'll say 3-1. I can see probably Kane scoring, given the threat he poses. But I think Villa will put it on strong. We'll pump them, and I think Tottenham will have their backs against the wall. Tottenham not great defensively, not great on the road. Given the atmosphere down there, Villa's home form, I just can't see past anything but a Villa win. I think the momentum's there. Emery, the way Emery's speaking, I think he's gonna transfer that into the players. The players are chomping at the bit to get out there. They'll run through walls tomorrow. I think McGinn will be charged up. Watkins, he's had a goal drought, hasn't he? I think he's back in the goals tomorrow. Yeah, feel good factor down Villa Park tomorrow. As Emery said, we want it to be a good day down Villa. And I can see that happening. I really can. I think Villa will go close to that Newcastle performance. Those levels they hit there. It's going to be some game tomorrow. But I can't see past the Villa win. I think they're going to run riot. I really do. I think it'll be vintage Villa. And Watkins back in the goals. And we'll be tomorrow after the game. I think it's going to be everyone be buzzy. Villa win tomorrow for sure. 3-1.
I love that. I'll go 2-0. I think clean sheet will be massively important for Emery. That'll be the message for the defenders. Keep Kane quiet, keep the clean sheet, and trust your forward players that they'll score at least one goal here and win the game. If you can get the clean sheet, we'll win here. 2-0 for me. It's massive though. I like what you said at the start about Emery getting his hair cut and kind of looking rejuvenated. How many times have we seen a Villa manager get to the end of the season with more grey hair, more wrinkles? Like, look at the pictures of Emery yesterday and go, he looks younger than he did when he joined. Like, he's loving life here. So
he is, yeah.
That's the vibe we need to kind of carry over tomorrow. Freshness, rejuvenation. Like, we go again. We've had a couple of defeats, but we're still in this.
Players back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You win tomorrow, and it's a fascinating end to the season. So 2-0 for me, 3-1 for you, and hopefully when we're doing the post-match show tomorrow night at 7-8 o'clock, whenever that is, we're talking about a massive 3 points for Villa, and a great end to the season. Ash, thanks for joining me as always. A couple of games left to go for the previews and post-match shows, so stick with us till the end of the season. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your thoughts and comments. We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, up the Villa.